and welcome to Kids TV for Run and Sprint. I hope you've had a good week and I'm so excited to be back with you teaching about our Creation Care series. Do you remember what we spoke about last week? It was from Genesis 1 and we learned how God created the world out of nothing. And this week we are going to continue our series learning about Genesis 2. In Genesis 2, we read how God created mankind. He created woman and man, both you and me. Do you remember the names of the two people that God first created? They are called Adam and Eve. Well, we're going to read Genesis 2 now, so why don't you pause the video and read it from your Bible, or it will come up on the screen now. So we just read from Genesis 2 where Adam and Eve are in the Garden of Eden, and God thought it's not good for man to be alone, so he created Eve, and they're in this Garden of Eden together. And in verse 15 it says how he needed Adam and Eve to look after the world that God has created for them. And by this point the world was perfect. There was no sin. The fall hadn't happened yet. It was beautiful and everything was amazing. But we know now that sin has entered into the world. So we need to look after this world that God has given us so much. And I don't know about you, but have you ever made something really fragile? Like here, I've got a box that says fragile, handle with care. And maybe you've made some Lego, or maybe you've made, I don't know, a box and you've turned it into a boat and it's been really precious and you need to handle it with care. Because you've been the one that's created it, you're like, I'm going to look after this really nicely. I'm going to make sure it stays healthy and it's going to stay in the best condition. Then imagine this Lego or this box that you've made and you're now going to give it to somebody. Wouldn't you hope and wish that they look after it with respect, that they look after it as best as they can? Well, this is what God did when he created the world. He then gives it to us and he goes, hey, this is the gift. Look after this world. Handle it with care. God gave us this planet because he loves us, but he also wants us to look after it. Or what's another example of how we can look after this planet? Here, I have a nice plant, but what I know about plants is that they need to be looked after continuously. They need water, they need air, they need to be in a good surroundings. And us too, like the planet, we need to look after it continuously. It's not just a one-time thing, but we need to make sure that it's healthy, it's got the right things. So what can you do this week? We know that God created the world and he said that it is very good. And if something's very good, we should look after it. So maybe you could help your parents out with the recycling this week. Maybe when you go shopping, you can go, actually, let's buy stuff that doesn't use as much plastic. We can all do things to look after this amazing world that God has given us. So I encourage you this week, do something which means you can look after this world, we can handle it with care and continuously look after it.
You have led me through the fire in darkest night. You are close like no other. I've known you as a father. I've known you as a friend. Oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. Every breath that
caught me during today's experiment. Now, today we were looking at the wonders of the universe, and what better to explore the wonders of the universe than building a rocket? Now, as you can see, I've already got 3 stands here, and all I've got to do is build the 4th one. There we go, stands up perfectly. Now what we've got to do is fill it with vinegar. Make sure that the vinegar goes up to about half of the bottle. Like that. Now for this experiment you will need a bottle, 4 pencils, some sellotape, and if you want to decorate your rocket, I haven't done here, but if you want to decorate your rocket, you also need some white vinegar, and now the magic ingredient, bicarbonate of soda. Now, before I put in the bicarbonate of soda, it is important to know that you wear protective clothing, some goggles, and make sure you do it outside with your parents' permission and with your parents' support. Okay, now, this is bicarbonate of soda.
Three, 2, 1, 0.
Hey boys and girls, we hope you've enjoyed this week. Don't forget to keep caring for the world around us, just as God would want us to do. Why don't you let us know what it is you've been doing to care for our world this week. See you next time, bye!